Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Happy Hustle Show episode 98. 98. Almost coming up to my centenary. Very exciting. As we are in the Christmas season and thoughts are turning to Christmas, I'm just going to send out a notification. If you would like notifications just before I go live, you will find the link to sign up within the Happy Side Hustle community Facebook group. If you aren't already a member, please jump across to Facebook and join the Happy Side Hustle community, and you will find the link in there. Hi, Mariam. How lovely to see you. So, festive mood. I have been out today for a Christmas lunch with the fantastic Gillian. For those of you that know Gillian from the Happy Hustle Hive, and indeed within the Happy Hustle community, you will know how amazing she is. And it's only the second time Gillian and I have ever met in real life, and we've just had such a lovely afternoon catching up and talking about the hive and talking about ourselves and our personal lives in 2022. But one of the things that we were talking about was upgrading your life. So Gillian was talking to me about this concept of, making sure that every part of your life, or checking in to see if every part of your life is at a first class level, so at a luxury level. We were talking about things like your phone. So whatever phone you have, is that at the first class level? So if you were to come into a lot of money tomorrow, would you want to get a better phone? Or is your phone already sitting at a first class level? And it got me thinking about the book by Julia Donaldson called Squish and a Squeeze. So for any of you who have had kids, you've probably come across this. A Squish and a Squeeze. The book is all about a couple. Is it just a lady? Kids are older now. Anyway, might just be a lady, but people that live in a house that's small, and they always talk about how small it is. Everything feels so small, and it's just like just very discontent with the smallness of the house. And what they do is they bring in the animals from the farm. There's a lot more to the story. It's actually a really good story. They bring in all the animals from the farm, and then the house feels smaller, and they bring in more animals, and the house feels smaller, and they bring in more animals, and then it's just like totally squashed in their house. And then they let all the animals back out again, and suddenly their house feels massive. And I think sometimes I use that example all the time. Myself and my husband, like, we'll say that to each other, and sometimes we'll go, oh, that's a squish and a squeeze, because the pandemic has nearly created this situation where all the things we took for granted were taken away. Not all, but a lot of the things we took for granted were just taken away. And you couldn't have imagined that was going to happen. And then as they're reintroduced, you've just got this profound appreciation for things that you didn't necessarily have before. So things that you might have taken for granted before, now you just feel so super joyful and grateful about them. So as I say, one of the things that I know that I would not change if I won the lottery is my phone. It's in charge, because I've been using it all day. I've got an iPhone. It's not the most recent iPhone. It's an iPhone 10. So there's been a few models since, but I don't need my iPhone to do anything over and above what this does. In fact, I think the new one has an even better camera, which is mildly interesting to me, but not enough at the moment for me to pay the money to kind of upgrade my phone. So I am happy with the level of phone in my life. The other thing that Gillian and I were talking, we were just talking about examples of this. And the other thing is your toothbrush, right? So particularly in the run up to Christmas, you see all these ads for these amazing toothbrushes that do, there's a water jet one now, isn't there? Like, I think it's like a flossing thing that you can get to go along with your toothbrush and whatever. I've got an electric toothbrush. I remember when the kids were really young. So again, probably 17 years ago, my dentist said to me, just get your kids electric toothbrushes from the start, because if they put it in their mouth, at least they've got a chance of their teeth being brushed, as opposed to, if it's just a static brush. unless they're really going to get into toothbrushing, which a lot of kids don't when they're younger. Their teeth are not going to be brushed properly. So anyway, so at that point we bought ourselves electric toothbrushes. So we've always had electric toothbrushes. I actually got my husband an upgraded one for his 50th birthday, which was not last year, but 2 years ago. It was just 2 years ago, just pre-pandemic. And it's great. Mine's great. Again, it's not something I'd necessarily be rushing out to upgrade, but it's so much better, in my opinion, than a manual toothbrush. So I think an iPhone is worth it. It's so much better than the Android phones that I had. I'm sure there are some great Android phones out there. Not everybody's going to agree, but in my opinion, an iPhone is where it's at. In my opinion, an electric toothbrush is where it's at, as opposed to a manual toothbrushes. Other things that I think I am already living a first-class life around is my hair straighteners. So I have tried lots of hair straighteners, and there's probably new ones on the market that are great, but I have never found anything that works as well for me as GHDs. So GHDs, in my opinion, are worth the upgrade over. I used to have straighteners that looked a bit like GHDs, but maybe can't remember what the make was. Just didn't do the same job at all. So things that are worth the upgrade: ordinary hair straighteners or cheap hair straighteners to GHDs, in my opinion. So Android phone to Apple phone, in my opinion, worth it. Manual toothbrush to electric toothbrush, in my opinion, worth it. Normal hair straighteners or cheap hair straighteners to GHDs, in my opinion, worth it. Okay. Then things that are topical. So I about a couple of weeks ago, I ordered some more lateral flow tests, and they came and they're just the nose ones as opposed to the nose and throat ones. So apparently my friend was telling me that in the NHS, they've always only had the nose ones. But for me, ordering lateral flows through the government website, I had the throat and nose ones for a long time, and they seem to have just changed it across to the nose ones. So much easier, like a squash and a squeeze. Do you know, if you had told me 2 years ago that I would be quite happy to do a nose swab, or well, it's 4 nose swabs, isn't it, how you have to do it, every single day or every time before I go out, I would have thought that was ridiculous. Having had to do the whole gagging thing, I really struggle with the throat ones. Of course I did them, but really didn't look forward to it. Just doing the nose one, a squish and a squeeze, it just feels so much more, I don't know, like it's so much less stressful, I guess that's the word. So in terms of an upgrade, if you're still using the throat and nose lateral flows, I suggest you order new ones. Like, you don't choose, but they just seem to be sending you the nose ones only. So much easier. So much easier. So in my opinion, definitely worth the squish and the squeeze upgrade. 2 more things that are worth the upgrade that I want to pass on my knowledge of. The first one is Canva Pro. So when you open a Canva account, and I think most of you who are side hustling will be familiar with Canva, you might have used it to some extent. Canva is a completely free graphic design software tool. However, if you upgrade to Canva Pro, and it's not very expensive, should have looked up the price. It's maybe, I'd be guessing, maybe about a tenner a month, something like that. I think you can get a discount by paying annually. It's so much easier. Like, it's so much easier because all of the images are available, everything. You can just organize things better. You don't have to worry about just using the free templates. You can create, you can just do so much more with it. And Canva free is, and I used Canva free for the first couple of years, like absolutely fine. Yeah, Mariam agrees. Yeah, but Canva Pro is just, and Canva is such a great alternative to hiring a graphic designer. Now, you probably are not going to create anything as good as a professionally trained graphic designer, but for a side hustle, particularly when you're starting out, you can create good enough stuff in Canva that you don't need to pay a graphic designer to do anything. Even if you're looking for a logo, you can create that in Canva. Ultimately, as your side hustle really, really takes off, you'll probably want to employ the services of a graphic designer, get a really unique version of your logo, etc. But you don't need to spend money on that right at the beginning of your business journey. It's not something that's critical. It's not something that really needs addressed until the cash flow starts coming in. So another one that's worth the upgrade, Canva to Canva Pro. And the last one that I want to talk to you today about is the Happy Side Hustle community versus the Hive. The doors to the Hive are still open for business. They're going to be open until just before Christmas because lots of people need the Hive as their Christmas present. The Hive can be bought for £27 per month, cancel anytime. So you can just try the Hive for a month as a Christmas present to yourself. You can ask for it as a Christmas present. It is such a great way of committing to your side hustle. It's such a great way of ensuring that you have the tools, resources, and just as importantly, community support to make sure that you're moving the needle on your side hustle now. And certainly at the beginning of the year. If your New Year resolution is going to be to really rock your side hustle in 2022, if you've got ideas that you want to put on your side hustle vision board, on the 30th of December, we are having a plan along session in the Hive. It can be watched on replay because I absolutely appreciate that people will have family stuff going on at that time of year. But if you can join me live, you're totally welcome to. But what I'm going to do is I am going to help you, or you're going to do it along with me, is to plan your 2022 and what you want to spend your side hustle money on. So remember, a happy side hustle is all about the luxuries. It's all about creating that extra cash for luxuries that you didn't necessarily have before within the Happy Side Hustle Hive and the planning workshop that I'm going to go through with you. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. We're going to set the objectives and then we're going to work on the plan to actually achieve that. My plan for next year is to fund a big family holiday in the summer, assuming that we're going to be able to travel. I feel relatively confident about the summer. Not feeling massively confident about the next few months. We don't really know what's coming. It's feeling a bit ominous again. However, by next summer, I feel that summers have always been pretty decent. So I feel relatively hopeful that we'll get a family holiday this time. I want to be able to fund a holiday that is just like, that just where I'm living my first class life, where I'm living my absolute first class life. I don't necessarily mean I want to travel there first class, but I want to be able to stay in places that feel luxurious. I want to be able to do things that feel luxurious. I don't want to be counting every penny when I'm there. I don't want to be trying to do things on the cheap. And therefore, that is going to be my focus for my vision board. Spoiler alert, when we do it on the 30th of December. If you've got a plan like that, if you've got something that you really want to focus on and fund for next year, and you would like to raise the extra cash to do it, join the Hive, come and join the planning session. It will only cost you £27 for 1 month. And as I say, if you feel that it's not useful or beneficial to you, you can cancel after that. But my guess is that you will like it and you will want to stay, because most people do. And we will spend the year in the Hive working on strategies together to get you to reach that side hustle goal. So my final upgrade, my final squash and a squeeze, my final up leveling is from being in the Happy Side Hustle free community into the paid community. There is a definite difference when you commit to something, when you start to pay for someone, you invest in yourself. There is a difference in the way that you prioritize your time. So the excuse for everything, again, Gillian and I were just having a good chat about this today in our own personal circumstances about finding the time to do things and how it can be difficult to find the time for everything because everybody's life's really, really busy. But when finding the time to watch a free workshop in a free group is pretty much always lower priority than finding the time to watch a masterclass and a community event where we're doing things together in a paid group. Invest in the Hive, invest in yourself this Christmas, and make happen that dream that you've got for your dream holiday in the summer. If you want to do it right along with me, just follow my strategy, or whatever is important for you in your life. Final upgrade, Happy Side Hustle Community to Happy Side Hustle Hive. Thank you so much for listening. This may be the last Happy Hustle show of 2021. I may be back on Thursday, but I'm not sure. It's going to depend. I've got a lot of family stuff on. I might be back. Not totally sure. Watch out. So if it is the last one before 2022, then have a wonderful Christmas, whatever you're doing for the rest of the week anyway. Start those festivities. Just enjoy, whether you celebrate Christmas or not, just enjoy the joy that is around on earth at this time of year. And I wish it for each and every one of you. Take care, everybody. Bye.